Okay, so this has been going on for a while now. For whatever reason, whenever he hears a music box, he tries to seek out the source of the sound and reacts very violently. Oh wait, give me a sec. There.
I think that just killed someone. Yep, right in the face. If you can even call that a face at this point.
Hey there, you wanna see my Freddy's timer review?
No.
Hey there, you wanna see my Freddy's timer review? I take that as a yes. Listen here, getting views on YouTube is hard, okay? If I had to kidnap people to get more views, I will do it. Just don't tell my subscribers, okay? This is just between you, me, and the half a dozen people in my basement, okay, darling? I was gonna cover this game eventually, but after finding out how little attention it got, I decided to put it at the top of my priority list. In fact, if you go to YouTube, there's really not that much about it. There are only 2 videos about this game that got thousands of views. One of them is by Ulitum, which he's played every fan game, so who cares. And the other one is by bruh.
You fool! I have 70 alternative accounts!
Or is that another one of his quote-unquote brothers? Yeah, okay. Hey guys, did you know that this character isn't actually voiced by me? He's voiced by my cousin. Twice removed. And adopted. The game takes place in Fredbear's family diner, although it does deviate from the Five Nights at Freddy's storyline. A bunch of kids went missing, yeah, big shocker, I know. And you play as an investigator who's trying to figure out what happened to them. There is a tiny bit more to the plot, but I'll get to that later. As we get to the graphics, let's address one of the more common criticisms of Freddy's timer.
Why is it so bloody dark?
And yeah, as you can see, or can't see, it is indeed quite dark in here. Now, I don't get why people have such a big problem with this. Not only can you easily see the animatronics because of their glowing eyes, but you don't really need to see them. 2 of the characters only attack you through the vents, and the other 2 give off very obvious sound cues. Also, since the restaurant is closed down, I think it only makes sense that all the lights are turned off. Unlike in one other game.
Gotta conserve power. Gotta conserve power. Gotta conserve power.
でもそんなんじゃダメもうそんなんじゃほら心は進化するよもっともっと
Aside from that, the unwithered models look nice, and I like the bluish color scheme this game has going on. With all that out of the way, let's shed some light on the gameplay mechanics. And then some. You are equipped with the control panel that allows you to fix errors and play the alarm. The camera error... Come on, do I have to explain this every time we encounter one of these? No, I don't. The ventilation error makes your screen go black every few seconds. But unlike in the previous game we covered, it doesn't actually cause you to suffocate. What that means is that you don't need to fix either of those errors. Now, playing with the ventilation error can be quite annoying indeed, but let me assure you, you are way more likely to die if you actually try to take your time to fix it on the later nights. The fire alarm should be used when Freddy enters your office. You can tell that he's in the office when his music box starts playing. Now, keep in mind, you only have to play the alarm for about a second. Playing it for too long will cause it to break. Bonnie, Chica, and sometimes Freddy will try to attack you from the ventilation. You can hear if someone enters the vents, and you can definitely hear if someone gets close. They're not exactly stealthy about it.
Must have been the wind.
This is where you need to close the vents, but I'd like to get a bit deeper into this. You know, I gotta live up to my channel description at least sometimes. Whenever an animatronic gets close, their icon blinks a certain amount of times before they either attack you or leave. Freddy's icon blinks twice, Bonnie's icon blinks thrice, and Chica's icon blinks thrice. Those aren't actual words. Basically, you will be just fine as long as the vent is closed in the very last as long as the vent is closed at the end of the last blink. This tip should be useful because closing the vents does deplete your air meter. Not only will you suffocate if the air meter depletes completely, but if the meter gets too low, it will cause your entire screen to go black. Once Foxy becomes active, you need to play the music box. You can tell that you managed to fend off Foxy when you hear his This is all you need to know for the first 5 nights. Now let's get to night 6. The 6th, or the final night, brings in another character, the Puppet Man. And okay, before we continue, can I address just how epic the music on this night is? When you hear this sound, followed up by whispering, this means that the puppet is in one of the cameras. Just quickly go through the cameras until you hear the sound again, and that's it. If the puppet does attack you, well, firstly, you lose your hearing, because for whatever reason, he has by far the loudest jump scare in the game. And secondly, he doesn't even kill you, but he disables your camera and control panel. So basically he kills you. Another character that doesn't directly kill you is Chica, because she gets her fat ass stuck in the vent. Now, normally that would be a good thing, until you realize that you rely on those vents to breathe. And that you rely on breathing to live. And that you rely on living to not die. Also, on the 6th night, Freddy's AI is on its max setting. What that means is, if he's not busy speeding through the vents, he shows up in your office like every couple of seconds. Once you're done with the final night, you can tackle the custom night and the survival mode. The custom night is pretty standard, you can beat challenges to unlock decorations for your office, and tuning everyone up to their max AI setting starts the influence mode, which even has its own loading screen, that's kinda cool. And oh, wait just a second. Alright then, survival mode isn't something that I would normally focus on, but here it's actually kind of important, so yeah, let's keep going. We're not even remotely done with this game yet. You need to get at least 1,000 points in a single run, which basically means surviving for 1,000 seconds, or 16 minutes and 50 seconds. Good luck. You do have very interesting music options for this mode. But for real though, somehow I did way better with the music turned on. In fact, my record now is 1,437, which basically means that I survived for 23 minutes and 57 seconds. I'm such a fucking virgin, aren't I? Beating the high score unlocks the insanity mode. This is something that no one on YouTube has covered. None of the small channels, and not even the puppet master of Nev himself. More like the Peppa Master, am I right? Jesus fucking Christ. So yeah, if I don't, who will? Let's dive in. This is where you face off against Shadow Freddy, but this also isn't the first time that you can actually encounter him. On the other night, he can rarely appear in your office, and if you stare at him for too long, he jump scares you. Basically like Golden Freddy would. But this is where the purple boy is going all out. Whenever he attacks you, you can hear a voice line of his.
You shall be my vessel. It's time. Let us now go forth and show those cattle the joy that our creation. Come.
It is I, Barack Obama!
Shadow Freddy was the one to kill the children, and from what I can tell with these lines, apparently he wants to possess you. That would at least explain why he calls you his vessel. If his attack is followed up by this music,
Mrs. Obama, get down!
this means that he's either in the camera or in the vents. If he's in the cameras, then you need to play the music box. It only takes about 7 to 8% of it. And if he's in the vents, you need to wait until he gets closer and then close both of them immediately. If your cameras are disabled, then I would recommend playing the music box first. If the music box falls down to 91 to 92% and he still hasn't left, then this means he's definitely in the vents. Just wait until he gets closer there, it always takes him the same amount of time. If his attack isn't followed up by the aforementioned music, this means that he's in the office. In that case you need to play the fire alarm, like with Freddy. The only difference being that it takes way longer for him to leave. So you have to be extra careful about not playing the alarm for too long, or again, you will break it. Oh, and I should probably mention, whenever he attacks you, he breaks the ventilation system. Every time. Yeah, remember when I said that you don't need to fix those errors? Yeah, there you go. Your vision here is already quite hampered as it is, and playing with ventilation air really doesn't help. Especially on this night, since another way that Shadow Freddy attacks you is by shoving his face in the vents camera or the control panel. Looking at him even for a short while is an insta-kill. Just make sure you don't open those when your screen is pitch black. And that's it. Or that's something that I would say if not for one of the most recent patches, which added a second phase. Yes, once you reach 4 AM, phase 2 kicks in. But don't panic, it's not actually that much different from the first phase. Again, if Shadow Freddy changes the music, then use the same tactic as before, but a bit quicker just generally. And if Finale is playing, then he's in the office. This is where I have to re-emphasize just how careful you have to be about not playing the alarm for too long. With Shadow Freddy attacking this frequently, you might need to take short pauses before you actually use the alarm. And if the fire alarm breaks, then it's broken forever. There is no way to fix it. This is where you are basically screwed. Unless you're a lucky bastard like me. Yeah, you know what, I'll take that as a victory. Okay, so we won, Shadow Freddy is defeated, well, I guess that's it. Yeah, there is no way there's anything else left, right? Wait, don't worry, my brain is so small that I actually managed to miss it, so yeah, I'm fine. Yep, when you beat the Insanity mode, you unlock the Puppet and Shadow Freddy in the custom night. With the amount of headache these two are about to give you, I can safely say that they turned the Influence mode into the Influenza mode. Okay, that has to be intentional, there's no way I'm the first one to make this joke. I mean, I guess Shadow Freddy was kinda nerfed here. He doesn't attack you as frequently, and when he shows up in your office, it's always the Golden Freddy pose. And he does it for AM, but I wish I could even make it that far. I'm just gonna hope that there isn't some sort of a super secret ending, like Shadow Freddy comes back to life and just takes over the entire planet, I don't know. Nigga! I'm at my limit here. I may be a masochist, as you can tell, but I'm not the CBT kind. CBT obviously standing for children, beware of the man behind the slaughter. Oh, and yeah, the music playing during this mode is again from Undertale. Hey, I don't mind. If I made a FNAF fan game, I would put Twisted Metal soundtrack in there and no one would be able to stop me. Fuck it, I'ma do it right now. So, what can I say about Freddy's Timer? It is a great and challenging FNAF fan game, with quite a bit of variety when it comes to enemy behaviors and game modes. Honestly, I would recommend it to anyone who's looking for a FNAF fan game that is a bit on the harder side. I heard many people complain that it takes them like hours to beat certain harder game modes, and look, it took me hours to beat the final night. It took me even more hours to beat the Insanity mode. And it will definitely take me even more time to beat the Flu. And honestly, I don't get what the big deal here is. I mean, these are meant to be the hardest parts of the game. Of course you're meant to take a while to beat them. You're not supposed to beat them on your first, second or even third try. And with the amount of beta testers that this game had, I'm pretty sure a lot of effort went into balancing the difficulty. And if you're up for a challenge, then yeah, definitely try out the game. Or, you know what, screw it, all of you try out the game, come on, go, follow it, do it now, yeah, that goes for you too. I don't care that you don't have a Game Jolt account, I'll make you one. Hey, where are you going? Hey. Oh, for Christ's sake, can you watch where you're going? I literally just got done washing off the brain fluids off of this thing. Why do I feel like someone's breaking the sound barrier? Oh, it's here. Stop. A bit to the left. A bit more? Yeah, okay, that's good. Also, with the way internet has been lately, do you think that showing violence against women is a good idea? In the previous review, male policemen got beat up. I strive for gender equality, baby! Hey woman, you dropped your mask. I don't think she can hear me at this point. Actually, scratch that. I don't think she can hear anything. Hey, here's your login and password. If I don't see her follow the game in the next 24 hours, she won't feel anything either. Yada yada does it. I'll be dreaming, hoping baby you will be there. I'll be dreaming, hoping baby you will be there. Hoping baby.